Me one from Nasida, and he calls this one Nasida. And I want to dedicate the song to every NDC delegate in the Okankwe Central Constituency who voted for Sadiq, Baba Sadiq. On what the two in the Facebook say, Sadiq is a Muslim, but when he wanted to thank God, he played Nasida Sida. Why idea? Why? I mean, sure. On that note, welcome to my show, your show, our show, the best entertainment show on OK 101.7 FM. A show proudly sponsored by Vodafone. Further together, I'm your humble hosts, Halifax Ansah-Addo. Nipa Papa Osuru Nyamipa. I believe I have a full production team today led by Obia Gloria as usual, David the Naughty Pablo, DJ Toxic because today is a Wednesday. And I'm expecting Big Ben, Benjamin Compson. That guy is huge and large. But yeah, straight to the point, I welcome my panel member. I play some 2 or 3 more Nasi songs, and then we are good to go. It's going to be a very short edition today. Trust me. When I say shorts, I'm not like those pastors when they say today service will be short. This man is from Ada and Krobo at the same time. His name is Nene Bennett Tay Akwaku. Na miyejmo ene nase ansa na oko America. Okotina osa MPP win ye no si obefie. Na oyejmo ene nase a eye de papa. Oyensentroni penyin pa no yejuma wo Ghanaian Chronicle. He was the Volta regional editor and on the Accra as the national news editor, and Oko Daily Guide as a deputy editor of the whole paper, and on Muti News One as the editor of the paper. And at that point, he edited the publisher newspaper. This year, is a consultant on Ghanaian culture. Here's my friend, your friend, our friend, Nene Benete Akwaku, Moakwaba.
Yeah, me just Halifax.
Basho boko die.
Oh, bibia boko. We are Juma Masia. Then pan head do. Catching.
Okay, FM 101.7.
Yeah, this week had been I had my head down kakra because me were a year before I done my so this week, but we will still overcome it. This week in some media, so quite interesting. Them say, a man A man will be caught on the
Yes, what I'll do is I'll go into that case properly without mentioning the names or going to the matter. Once say what court's no dear.
Okay.
So I want to discuss the issue, without going to the details of the case. Now in front to other sense. Nene, your chief. How far was his anniversary? How is it going?
Oh, it's going pretty well. Nanka arrangement send omobeba. And to that beba no more by explaining. But I'm saying Hitch is back on be today the whole team had to go to Upper Manya Sesewa side.
Okay.
Because the paramount chief is actually visiting institutions within the paramount sino. Nti owie lower Manya there and oko Upper Manya, that is Sesewa side. Sending na eche no. And
I don't know what's the sound word. No, Nini na share fa.
Nini na share na say.
Okay, I say. He's going on a visitation.
Yes. But the high points, Monday, coming Monday.
Today is 17th, right?
17th, yes.
So visit to Akaten.
Akaten, yeah.
Akaten. Where is Akaten?
Akaten just after Asesewa. Into Udro Asesewa.
Asesewa is where the market is, right?
Yes, where.
And I tell me, when I market day in Asesewa. Okay.
Yeah.
Akaten.
Yeah, it's about some 30 minutes drive from Asesewa, actually.
I see. Anyway, we're talking about the 25th installment anniversary of His Royal Majesty, Nene Sakite II.
Sure.
Corner of Manya Krobo traditional area.
Exactly.
And the program started on the 12th. It runs all the way till 29th of this month. Unfortunately, the delegation couldn't come today, but I'm sure 29th Wakakra. Yeah. So by all means, we will definitely, get some time to talk to them. I want to know him. Who is he? Before he became chief. What is happening? To Krobo. And then when they send the delegation, I be someone say about no saying ya mamre fair ya over the years. Suddenly, so by imponency,
Okay, FM 101.7.
I don't want to believe that was automated. Let me just muse that thing all together. Let's go again. Now, my be someone say about no saying, open me also be my music. Nkwade ya say nya virgins fanya dipobium.
Yes, sir.
But what does the matter?
Okay.
Okay, and yes, and okay.
Maybe a human movie, but I feel say it will be proper. So man can say baby you or man.
But that was what we read.
What I'm saying is, and yes, how twisted that you need to do. But
it's okay, let me pick the story and read.
So we've not run short of virgins.
So what is the problem?
Oh, the problem...
Because the story says that lack of virgins is frustrating the depot ritual.
Okay, so you say I find the sound so they are in there dodo for one your man. Because the story is about dodo. Well, one of the high points, on Monday, coming Monday, the launching of a book, Osu Press Biha. Omobabe lanchi book bi. Yes, the gospel and tradition, the royal narrative, and one of the high points of the whole entire celebration of the 25th anniversary of Nene Sakite. And I can't wait to read that book. Minyan can idea.
Why not, Troy?
You
are not too sure.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
So Monday, 22nd.
Yes. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. That will be the book launch at the Osu Presbyterian Church Conference
and Tradition.
The Gospel and Tradition.
The Royal Narrative.
What
an interesting book.
Yes, it will be very interesting. So, those who are interested in this particular year, because all along it had been the state and the church. The state, politics and the church. Now we are talking about
the gospel.
The gospel.
And tradition.
And tradition. Interesting.
It's interesting because gospel, krasi no mutro no. So nene, ebi mu tradition though.
You are largely correct, yeah.
I mean, if you read the Bible well, it's a compilation of Israeli history, Jewish custom and practices. And so they wrote the gospel from their traditional perspective.
And once it's been written by humans, definitely no. Ni background, ebe reflect a narrative, no. But the word itself, no, dear, it's spirit, Halifax.
Oh, well, that is not in doubt. that is not in doubt. Because say Yesu Christo baya no, obe pie wo mikrom la.
Okay.
And I see on friend is your phone. And on from nyina ye cha jete. Ne cha yite. Ne che odwe.
Yeah.
Ne ebache Christopher Kote ne keke fitai.
Kote wa fitai. By all means.
Say Omunchura, they would also write it from the perspective of a layman writing about morality and righteousness.
Yeah.
Sounds na bia okopie wa da ho no baby. Nature tete. Nature tei. Nature, they would also write it from the narrative.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. And but that is the background of Nipa or Chron. However, the word itself, the
spirit,
it cuts across
and
generations. Yes,
I think generally wisdom cuts across.
Okay.
Generally. I'm not taking away the spirit part of religion, but anyway, that is not my topic for today. And then, give me the title of the book again. The Gospel
and Tradition.
The Royal Narrative.
Yeah.
The Gospel and Tradition. The Royal Narrative.
Yeah.
Interesting, because these days, religion and things we weren't too sure of is becoming demystified. For instance, and right now I'm a Daybreak newspaper.
Okay.
And it was interesting, sir. I mean, in those days, at time I said, see, will be a lodge member. It was a big deal.
Yeah, sure.
Lodge. Hey, Papa, we were lodge.
You'll be as run.
We'll be as run. I say, na omuka kra says, we are lodge in a wua.
Yeah, but sorry.
Now, we so remember two akuma. About geometry, they will cut your heart. Well, Peter Odochi and Kobukano say, almost a red and black. And tonight, yes, real lodge ID.
Yeah.
And but these days, it seems to be becoming very fashionable. I was reading in the papers yesterday that TV3's Roland Walker will be initiated into the lodge.
Wow.
And it's front page story. So that is interesting. Because first, yeah. But it looks as if we are beginning to at the lodge and shed and ye be out. It's a society where Adam still was through lodge.
Almost say, they agree, they admit it is a cult. But almost see
one cult.
Almost
initiation. I news. We should know the members of a cult. A cult is a secret cult.
A cult, na church is a cult, and that there is a difference between cult and occult. That's what they are saying. And that I have a couple of friends trying to explain those things to me. Say, cult, dear, any group of people they believe in some principles, it's a cult. But occult, a secret society, into a cult like any other group. But that's why. Yes, I'll be able to.
Is there a society you would want to join in?
I don't think so.
Why?
Oh, if you call a bremusenia or muka semuna mihu lodge back nubia years as in a droop beer. Every family member will have to leave the room. Baby, I in state, and then the members alone will go there, close the door, and do whatever they want to do. And after maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, and sana, they will give access. And I said, "Yeah, so do we know mukitabna mudi chichi form? Emma misru."
Then is it not just what is it? A childhood perceptions and the way the movies portray them? These days, many of them come out and say, that there is nothing mystical or supernatural about them, and that they are cult members. We've seen photographs of senior politicians, lawyers, who are, Lodge or Freemason members.
Yeah.
Well, I am curious. I would want to go and know what happens there. Not that I want to join, you see.
Okay.
Just to satisfy my curiosity.
Yeah.
Na you quite a brim so to say we a lodge in here, then Oscar.
That's another thing.
Oh, lodge no ko your trends. Eh, be no ko.
Really?
Oh, e be who tell me po even like I say.
Na lodge ni bia Oscar.
Oh, masa. Omoboa. I'm like that time that's hope. Unless Papa no join him so a lodge.
It's true.
Yeah, but
I think mami bin so
Lord, when mami or lodge.
So mshada near bia.
Hey, nene, na lodge Makobi.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh my woman. That's the engine the one.
But I've been hearing them say brotherhood. I never heard about.
Oh yes, say Madam for be a name no kono of whom ya because why inviting me so whom you are not friend me worthy brother. Na me so imagine so worthy brother.
Worthy brother.
Yeah, since omu term omo you so brother.
But is it for a good reason that they don't paint their office? Omu office be was we call Kings we are Coco Botono. They be office say na mo paint here kakre.
Serious? Maybe it's for some reasons. You never know.
So that not how you who kakra.
Yeah, it's interesting anyway.
So Nene, do you know Samuel Frimpong?
Sure. What's it? What's it my baby? Sammy, come on with you guys.
I say, oh your lodge in and so on dama.
Sammy. Oh, I see. Well, until we live to see, we wish Roland, we wish him well.
I wish him well. Until the initiation is 27th of May.
They are initiating him into the
lodge.
Into Africa, no fresh member. Our best static.
Oh,
me can say you be 19. Na ya mano ya born abasu ye de ibi ropes to be a man.
You see a friend Orbis Lodge. Orbis Lodge 9334 EC. Candidates for initiation. Yeah. Na you but for all you know that enye biao. I mean, it's just about
it is
learning.
Kind of day. Never be what so unye member among country. From the beginning, the umber country say a social gathering be na
to share knowledge, to know each other.
Yes, exactly. But a bedroom baby, your mouth position be a bedroom baby. There are certain things they will open up to you that you have no right to disclose to I know that. It's not too open.
But the secrets of life are not meant for everybody and anybody, Nene.
The secret of life?
Exactly.
Must life be a secret?
Well, then there are secrets in this life. It is a good reason why when you go to the lodge meetings, the floor tiles are in black and white. It's why a good reason.
Oh, you've been there before?
No, I've read.
Oh, okay.
There is a good reason why the equilibrium needs to be balanced. There is a good reason.
That's the
you do not cast your diamonds.
That's almost a new cult. Now we want to see. Sorry, I make also a cult. Me man sorry no yam fa bibia hintayen.
Maza, Jesus Christ be wiase. Ye bisa no se on try se na be bompai. And on try the Lord's Prayer, Our Father. Okan try says e be say yen tu sunsun boni bia yen bo Yesu din. Edu ono ne so no. He didn't teach the rest what he knows. When he went to the Mount of Transfiguration and he descended, etu dia din no then Yesu dey wan bo Our Father. And now one can say in the name of myself Jesus. But he used spittle and some sand. If he he did one or two, and see, another one
the Lord's Prayer, no, and yet template. Was it teach us how to pray, and also pray like this,
Agreed.
Like this.
Which part of the Lord's Prayer, which is not a template, is just a guide. Which part talks about mixing your saliva with clay to open the eyes of the blind.
Oh, say no, you're different. Say, oh, Halifax. Say ni disciples no. Omo bisa no niema bebre at a point, every point biano. Or see, these things come by niema bi wo ho a. This is obompai. And a niema bi wo ho anso a. Omo bisa no say, ye bompai but still a yen ntimi anye ti say wo seni a wo ye ye no. And I see this comes by praying and fasting. Ebinum wo ho a omo ko bompai omo ye fasting no so omo nya answers. Ebinum so anya answers. They still came back to him and somebody said, I did all this. What you say? But still no. Me nya salvation, satisfaction me future no me nya ye. As you go and share your whatever you have, no, split it into two and give to the poor. How do you see that? I say we party. Why in the bet me? You know, so niema bia open any nei. What Benjamin used to put.
You are saying that he taught or told them what they asked.
What they asked for, depending upon the question and the...
Beautiful. If that is your argument, then it ties into my argument. Say, ebia sa styler yedi inteso any enria ebie ni friend ye name no omo ambesa no say masa we ye ne sen enti na wan kire omo no.
Okay.
If so, then there are secrets that unless you really want to know, you wouldn't be taught.
No. Halifax.
Yeah.
Paul. After Jesus had died and had left. Omo preachy. Munya the power to do miracles. Edro baby Paul. Bompire sana oyi out of his body came out handkerchiefs.
Then also where Bible cream.
Bible cream. Handkerchiefs no. Yedi si obi aso no. No wanya na yarisa.
Or free ni robe no man free.
Out of his, that's what the Bible says. Out of his body came out handkerchiefs.
If he had the body clothes he was wearing.
Yeah.
But Paul in your magician or by handkerchiefs free.
Okay. What about Peter?
Hero.
No. On a particular day. Ni shadow. Yare ni bia. Obe cross Peter ni shadow no. On your instant healing. Enunsuwe. Enunsu who can hear one?
Oh, of course I've read that one.
Thank you. Indeed, miracles, dear. It depends upon the times and the way the Spirit wants to move.
Anyway, we are all still learning.
Anyway, yes. I'm not talking as a pastor.
Of course,
anyway, I'm only talking about.
We are still learning, and then because I was surprised reading the same Bible and saying, I say, so I saw the Kriya Peter de Chobia Somono. Now you should know. It's true, Nene. You read Luke 22 very well, around 36 corner. He told them that me and my country was a moko preacher. Mamu fa person ko. Mamu fa sekanko. Mamu fa hwe komodi monko sa. But sia mo amu friend and no munya botre man. I mean, Ovia, where is my Bible? My Bible I got piece of him and that way. Yeah, Becca. But now I'm telling you that when you are going out, it's in the Luke 22:35. Then was that the same Christ? They say, "Will take your purse, take some clothes, take some money. If you do not have a sword, sell your cloak and buy some sword." I was shocked, and then the people told him that, "Oh, no way. We have some 2 swords here. We'll see the 2 are enough. Let's go with them."
On that day. Wow.
You see, and after the violent attack cutting off a man's, he didn't say throw the sword away, so keep it. Be free. So now we're still learning.
Oh yes, we're still learning. And this tells you, the gospel itself, it cuts across generations. And the more you read, the more you see, you get more revelations.
I get you. And the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
You don't even know at all. Exactly. The more you think you know, because you read it over and over. Internet, great evangelists, they use only, some of them Our mere teachers, they can use just one sentence, not even the entire verse, one sentence to preach for an hour. And that sentence touches on every aspect of Behiti. It's 10 points. Nina makes sense and it's relevant to Christian living. A book, no dear, a book be and so say agro. Yes, we may know all things, but no, it's a book idiot. And so say agro cry. It is life, it is spirit. Every word in it must be taken seriously. Just as sometimes we try to ask questions that are too carnal, and we try to differentiate between humanity and carnality.
But if we don't have if we do not ask the questions, how can we know any?
Yes, but some people are too carnal. They should know say it once it's written by humans now, we can see some humanity in it. And Jesus wept. At that time he was a human being. So he wept. He felt pain. He was across or Philip pains could drew baby. He was even asking God, say, why have you forsaken me? Yes, that is human part. But there be questions from the carnal, fleshly part of it. The Probu Bible now. The bottom line is that Halifax, will show. Na nyamabu wohona mitiena mintiasia. The best place to go is to come to you, Halifax, for explanation. I don't have to go to Abeku to explain. What you see, it is if we believe say it is the word of God. Na parts to be wohoa. Better go to that same person and ask him. And these things come only by what? Praying.
His name is Nene Bennett Teakwako. Talking a little bit about religion, gospel, tradition this morning. Before I come to my issues, enjoy this one. It's still from the same Nasi. Beautiful one from Nasi, an evergreen musician. Nyuma wuti I want to mean nya lyrics be our can share with them in tears here. And she says I no. Oh some says Sanyomono. I better see I go some just It is my prayer that the Lord makes you an instrument of his peace today. So that where there is hatred, you will plant love. And where there is injury and offenses, you will definitely plant pardon there for them. Where there is doubt, you will empower people's faith and make them believe it is possible. Where there is despair, sadness, you will give them some hope. Where there is darkness, you will bring some light and illumination. And where there is sadness, you'll bring them joy. It is my prayer that we'll reach a state where we seek to console rather than to be consoled. To help humanity rather than to seek help for ourselves. I believe that is the true meaning and true essence of life. It is not about me, myself, and I. Because a life that is not a blessing to other people is really not worth living. I mean, you come on earth, you live a good life, you make some money, you bless only yourself, your children, you die and go. I'm not too sure you've been too useful to mankind. Help somebody. Be a blessing to society. And listen, you do not need to own a private jet before you become a blessing to society, living a life worth living. I'm sure you can educate somebody's child. I'm sure you can pay somebody's examination fees, somebody's hostel fees, somebody's rent. Let's put a smile on somebody's face so that one day when you are dead and gone, you'll be remembered for the good reasons. I don't know if sometimes you ask yourself that, one day when I'm no more, one day when it's over, what would I be remembered for? Would I be remembered as that proud, arrogant, bossy boss whose only interest is to destroy? Will be remembered as that gossip who gets an orgasm going to do eye service and muff and spoil people? Will be remembered as that person who takes advantage of the poor and exploits them when they are in need? One day when we are no more, what shall we be remembered for? It's exactly 11:11. I have a very interesting topic I want to discuss. Sokri told me he will be late. He didn't tell me he will not come, but it looks as if he's not coming. So let's go ahead. No. You're grabbing what is now? We can review.
Oh, Debbie, I'm just enjoying soaking the music into me.
Okay. Nasser is a great guy.
He's a great guy.
By all standards. I mean, very, 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 very great guy by all standards. I mean, Nasser is an institution worth studying. I mean, if I should put it that way.
But a producer had always been talking about us discussing something like this, religion and technology. Where do they cross paths and the rest of them? I'm looking forward to that.
Well, there be all kinds of assembly on religion. I mean, I don't know her. What exactly Bia knows about religion? Or she, apart from normal Christian, she goes to church. No, 1 yard, what to collection fee and be tight. Yeah, you get what then. Quiet time on yet. Obia, what was your quiet time this morning?
It appears religion because it's a bit conservative and technology seems to be running ahead. Into religion, the 84 DNA. But religion actually is one. It talks not only about our history, but it talks about the future of mankind.
The truth is, those who do science to a certain level go and mix spiritism and religion there.
Halifax, I have seen a lot of scientists who, at the end of the day, they've come to the realization, say, ni omu ye nyina vanity.
Of course.
Na religion die. Untimi fan diago. Hardly do you see anybody or so for pa. What can say me jai because me hu niam be anointing no me kwako seeking knowledge into me come to go and study science or
and they will tell you, oh, you see, we came from evolution. Man evolved. And so Christopher has been asking me that if we evolved and the last time we were apes and monkeys, 2,000 years later, are we not changing to something else? I mean, evolution, I mean, what happened? Then I told him that, oh, you see, it is because we eat chemical foods these days, fertilizer, that is why we are not changing again. Obviously, I said, so do the monkeys too eat chemical food? And I mean, yeah, man, because they should have also changed the humans by now.
Okay.
And then we also change to something else.
Maybe the monkeys of yesterday are not the monkeys of today. Monkeys a million years ago may look uglier than.
Then I enquire your name.
Yeah, enquire.
So this week, two amazing stories on the. You know, I don't know how to classify them. The first one came on a celebrity influencer who enche biana news about you know haja for yachino yenchino. The foreign papers are reporting that you know, for real, she's been investigated for what they call romance scam. And she's been charged for several offenses. It has to do with fraud, money laundering, blah, blah, blah. But she has not been found guilty of any offense.
Okay, so I've been a case.
I've been a case.
Yeah.
And this is a near Kasei Hajia for real. She is innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
100% innocent.
Yeah.
Na allegation ne charge dear. And a suspicion dear. You bet to me there to obiaso.
Sure.
Including myself. But almost you're investigating her for some 10 years plus. Nah, almost very good reason to believe, say, she's into some cyber fraud sort of. But as I said, at this point, it is just an allegation for which almost in every UK, echo US, almost case no. Of course, she has pleaded not guilty.
Okay.
But someone's a Ghana had here. Yes, here they charge at all. So, yeah, and train I won't plead guilty and not guilty. Everybody will pronounce you guilty. Now you dojo, now picture now front page, now call, now bar, no more troll. In my personal view, me a lawyer, but I feel it's not really fair. You can report the story, say this is the issue. Or more accusing you of A, B, C, D. Now or C on your guilty. But for us to, you know, jump the gun and call it, oh, fraudster, oh, say, oh, and it's not G-Wagon, say, I can't I have some few challenges with that. I don't know what you think. But having said that, then let's come to the other side. Say, no, society ben me. Why are the Americans saying they trailed her for some 10 years? On only a whole clique B. And then realized, you know, they have more than enough evidence to win the allegations they put on her.
Yeah.
Then in this country, say, people will be encouraged to find other means of making money.
Come again.
Yes, because the way the society is, you can't really probe certain things. Me, I'm a wohe. If I come to work tomorrow in a Rolls Royce,
Okay.
and said I'm for Beyonce, financial and intelligence crime in frame beside me say Halifax. Well, you are a communication consultant. You run a newspaper, you do consultancy, you do radio, and a few, one or two. We are then Rolls Royce. I mean, but in other jurisdiction, it will sound an alarm.
Yeah.
You remember that? Come on, Rolls Royce. And now I go out and I start to do certain things with money. Money too has a sense. Money has a nice sense that cannot be hidden.
Definitely.
Beyond the South Shore. The betcha until the whites come in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Advice is true.
I don't know. But me feel say a indictment on us. I always say your system no yen dictate she. Say no crepa yen dictate say it be bus system no. And when you check this transfers, you can always follow the money around and say it came from here. Or the year say what exactly is the income yen check it.
What you're saying is perfectly right. Your system, no, you track it down near maybe. You train copy inside no be a big case. In fact, very often, no, it is people who rather more or less direct the police to even act or the investigative bodies to work.
Can you imagine?
How many times haven't we heard people call on, we want IGP to arrest this person. We want IGP to arrest this person. We want this person. And sometimes I ask myself, must people call on the IGP to arrest? Because system no ewo hodada. I expect a system nankasa ebeye nejuma. In other places, for instance, ukai no the case we can refer to it. I'm watching case, no. Ukai Amwati,
the member of parliament was it in Kuranza?
In Kuranza,
yes,
one
in
of the north or south here. Nei. Unso mudi nechisa.
Abrofono.
Kopim say.
For years.
Niamana a free a year bano. Now he has been going and coming. Now almost see omudi nechi. Fine, but they've been monitoring him. Kopim said the particular consignment a year omudi chain. He came to the airport to claim ownership of it, and they were monitoring him. Omudi niamani nyina emano. They followed him on to the warehouse. Baby odi niamano ekwakosi no. Omo arresting no. They left him. He locked the door to the warehouse, went home. But they were monitoring the whole place. 3 days later, by Safino Babe and Omucheno, because they had sufficient evidence. It is a way sooner Omusi Omu followed for the past 10 years. Sir. They may know exactly what they are doing. We share charges no being so broad.
Very broad.
Bakubia, mami, you kakra, me can say me bo hundia because it's too early in the day. But it's one of the charges. And say only some, did it not actors? Almost say you be. Oh, me a few words, no. But it's something that a name that covers both actors and musicians and OTS. Say she's in league with them, and they, to defraud people. Say or no, or scanner or Giana or ma transfer a baby na just say money or no any some of these our celebrities be. So it appears the net is so wide. The net is so wide. Now you can say now it's too early in the day. But coming back to even politicians who are spraying monies.
No, I'm listening to you. I mean,
I see how politicians are multi spread this.
I hear no spread it. It's part of our custom in this country. It's part of our custom. Nene, ukwa wuria, we spread this kaya normal.
Yes.
Obi dia when dia so spread this kaya normal. We your penyin. We do baby.
Mediocrity.
And now you're gong for you. No. You're gong for you. Gong. Alaji kali le. You need to spread some money. Normal.
Yeah.
I mean, we do baby no more fun. No more fame no come. You drop a few coins. Normal. So when a politician is welcomed by fans and supporters with drumming and dancing, and the politician wants to believe in our culture and not spread the yikakra and a year ding. Oh, respecting our culture, and saying, okay, let me listen to you.
Yes, bibi pa. The same.
Neso wo kwa himfie. And okay, ta we envelope kakra, we snap kakra no dey amamre.
Because the same politician no, eba be kan kire say. Ena yen kire baby a we nya sika free e. Yen kire baby a we nya we free e. Odi yi. Obenya ni position na, especially when they are not in government, they would like to probe every single person under the name of public funds. But when people's lifestyle do not match with their sources of income, and they say, lifestyle who spread this because of what? Tradition. And who spread it. Say na wunya, juma be na wuye, and I would spread it. Who did say, Halifax, it is what you get that you spend.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, yeah, you can't spend what you don't have in the name of tradition. Inti se mi nibi fikra wa mi botumu a na mi ko dru ba bi na musi numwe sa no fish ngbe ma jema fe show. I'm doing the show because I've gotten it. So we must question where you've gotten that money from or where you've been getting it from. Also, when the monies are huge, it's our sin to be spreading money, throwing them in the air, just like that. Oh, Halifax. Remember one simple I say, saying you can say money has good sense now. You can't hide it. It is true. You can't hide it. So we need to question all this. In fact, the system must be doing the questioning.
Now let's go back to this my Hajia lady. So count 1, conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
Okay.
And it goes on and on. Many of the enterprises, how they do it. In fact, before that, yes, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. And basically they are saying that she and other known and unknown people were members of a criminal enterprise based in West Africa here. And they committed a series of frauds against individuals and businesses located across the United States, including the Southern District and on and on and on. And, what the group basically did in their romance scam was that they targeted victims who were vulnerable, older men and women who lived alone. And so they conducted a romance scam by sending the victims some emails, text messages, and messages through online dating and social media websites that deceived their victims into believing they were in a romantic relationship with them. Sometimes they use fake identities, and then the victims in turn also send down money to them. And it goes on and on and on and on. But to me, so I sent them a message. You go to her count 2, wire fraud. The allegation contained in paragraph 1 through 3 or blah 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 says that from at least about 2013 up to and including at the end of 2019, Omwa Monetano sa who said knowingly having devised and intending to devise a scheme to what is this? Artifice to defraud and for obtaining money and property by means of false and fraudulent patterns, representations, on and promise. That is what they call their wire fraud. They now charge it clearly for money laundering conspiracy. That one we know what money laundering is. And then you move on to another count. The first one is money laundering conspiracy. And then they charge for money laundering proper. And then conspiracy to receive stolen money. It means they know very well this money is stolen, but they went ahead and then received it. And then, of course, receipt of stolen money. First one, we have conspiracy to receive, and now receipt of stolen money.
Wow.
Basically, they are saying from 2013 they've been investigating. I repeat, OKFM pronounce Obia guilty. Yes, see, a bimwa charging in US. Now, or see, she is not guilty.
Yeah.
Court and so determine say, oh, you're guilty.
No.
It is the charge sheet we are looking at on the issues. Nene, say no crazy abrofui from 2013 or more monitor. Seka no ba no be akwaji. Now spending they say not in Jewa gomo no ko say na omo anche no. 2013, 14, 15, 16. Could it be say mbranti bebrebe we omo nam krom na no omo to we the many Yahoo fraud boys in town who think they are tweeting the words. Could it mean say e bia omo so na seka no abrofo no asheda. The mom, the monitor. Now, interest say one partner or the young boys are genuinely defrauding those people, and this their online scam and chopping the money for free. Because that they know this is what you are doing, but they want to know who exactly is the big person behind it. And say, no, $5,000, $10,000 now, OG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Halifax, a question we say everything starts at a point. sometimes a genuine defrauding.
Okay.
When eventually somebody raises a flag,
Mm-hmm.
and then you come under the radar,
Mm-hmm.
they don't come and arrest you immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They give you long rope, and then they look back. That is where they go back to what you did yesterday, and then the day before yesterday, and the day before that day, to see whether you have a history of Sanyamano. And that's where they now compile. You see, oh, okay, then this adds to this adds to this. For instance, Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
It took only one person to, first of all, come with a report to say, complain, say, why NC?
Mm-hmm.
Then after that person, other people now started coming in. Oh, yes, honestly, yes, sir. Honestly, yes, sir. And then we have about 33 people all come. Mm-hmm. So it takes a day to start something. If you look at Yenuya by saying, I think say it started from November.
Mm-hmm.
She had a problem in UK. I think from November 22nd.
And so Moko ball show be your banner normal detaining when it goes on and on. But it means it's from what they are saying means that before the detention in November, if they are saying from 2013 no more monitor, then they have their files already. And we're just allowing the so-called conspiracy to defraud, conspiracy to do money laundering, just continue. Until they've built a solid case. I'm going to say, as for this one, we've seen how you get the money, how you spend it, who you spend it with.
Yes, for them, when they are investigating you, they have all the time in the world for you. Because on pese, obeko chiu na wako lose. So they wait and they get sufficient evidence. Or the court obetimi approve beyond reasonable doubt. Now, the charges no ba be brace and so you who about of maybe 17 charges are maybe anami enubi
Achoo.
na kochiu.
Good.
Yes, so for them, the investigators have time.
Good. Now, I think you've now understood what I mean. Let me now ask my questions here.
Okay.
Could it be then, Nene, that these many young boys we see who proudly say, I'm a scammer?
Okay.
Who's a brand here? I mean, he can't even write a simple essay.
Yeah.
Then so I call internet so. Or see what dada brony. Until when you study at Camry.
Yeah.
The old dada know are they that foolish? Are they that dumb? And it goes on. Because 1, some 2, 3, 4 years they are still enjoying. Could it be say Adi and Sheda and yes say you are outwitting them, but they are giving you these monies to study how the scam system operates, and as sooner than later, a lot of young men are going to be damn hot.
Yeah, it is yes and maybe no.
Okay.
Yes, because Omudu system is such that they can throw a bait at any time to see who is defrauding who is a fraudster on the internet. In fact, the internet today is such that no matter how smart you are, you will leave what they call footprints before you go. No matter how smart you are, you can use the latest of all technology to try to wipe away your signatures, but you still will definitely leave some footprints, some fingerprints, either on the ground or on the wall or on the door before you.
West Ghana. First, Ghana card yimba ye Ubet me up a wedi. But see how could you see Ghana card? Ghana card in so it's biometric.
Yeah. Into wamu they must know say they can't hide forever. We are there. In fact, the court can even subpoena some of the agencies, say they should open up certain things you did, as far back as 10 years ago. So it is not like agency somebody can pretend. Of course, there must definitely be a red flag before they begin to go after you. If there is no red flagger, they can't just throw monies into the system, say, we want to know who is defrauding who.
I get you.
But once the flag be raised about you, now once, twice, then it now makes sense for somebody to come cross your path, knowing very well what you like.
I get you perfectly well.
Yes. If they know that you like to defraud businessmen, then somebody will come and pose as a businessman.
Or you found a genuine businessman you are defrauding, and they will just tell him, play along.
Play along, exactly.
Let's monitor.
The counterintelligence
with
unit.
Yes.
If you don't have, we will give you. Yes.
Man, if I call blue time or Ghana,
and then they will allow you to take the money. Then they will also go beyond you and find out who and who you share those monies with. What do you do? Do you cash the money physically? Because once you cash it, it's difficult to. But only ebinimu shares can also wire become obi and all those things. Then they follow the trend, and that's where the net becomes wider and wider and wider. Until at the end of the day, there are so many people in the net. They can also pursue them.
So those boys who call themselves media me a scammer.
They are only boasting for today.
My recruiting young boys are from a Bombas. So they just go and look for. Eventually, if they really want to catch, they will get back to you.
If they really want to catch them, they will get them easily.
Okay.
You can only boast for today for a couple of days and throw your camera around.
Let me ask this question. You've stayed in the States for many years, Nene.
Yeah.
Say, do we prosecute can you prosecute somebody who is mentally unstable?
I think to just prosecute him for doing something.
For fraud, internet fraud, money laundering, you see, and I never know, I say, well, to see when you're a dream yari.
This is a very difficult question.
Well,
but it takes me back to a scenario. Obi bisa say obi e yare or ye juma na yare be bono na okono kosano hu yare na oba otimi be ye ne juma na I will come and answer your question though, but
nese was sending hu yare.
Thank you. That's what. So obia o yare bia na wakosano hu yare ba say man
because yare inti ya san yare inti be me juma
and ye bisa the same nipa no like you are saying say okay inti say wo na wo doctor what is say onya
adwemu
yare na okoi no kosa ne ho oba na osi da ho no na oba be ye surgery udi ho be mana na
nene na chi se ke la cha fin
so when it comes to this kind of mental in India it's very difficult to actually tell.
So it means that I can use my influential status to defraud, though these things they call romantic scam. Sami from say romantic scam. No, it is the people themselves who were willing participants. That's anyway. That is a different matter. So you mean I can decide to defraud people, make some good money, and then say me who so mo ba bechimia.
Then you pretend.
Na ma sheda can say
any the ombe hon.
Ombe was saying
na ma
cause of obi ho. Nene tie na ma cause of obi ho. Na me see menya adwuma yare. Me de me property se chechiche. Na ma fellow influencer bi. No so dia to ho. Na ba be ye he ga na nyina se o se mesi afide wanya adwuma yare o wa ya on and rent se kan no. Because your reporter said properties no. Sa or buy you and all the achena down for I mean, I know how to talk without mentioning.
Yare dear. If I dream yare any dear. If you pretend, they will easily know.
Me see my bottom.
Una will see, but as for lie detectors, they are there all over the place.
What are you talking about? Yes, I remember now what there's
yeah.
What would a lie detector do?
Lie detector will determine 99.9% that you are lying.
You see?
Once it says 99.9%.
Yes, my lawyer will say I'm lying because I'm mad. That I'm speaking the truth. But because I'm mad, they think I'm lying because I'm mad. But I'm not mad. I'm mad. I'm actually not lying.
The medical report takes precedence over whatever the lawyer is saying. The medical report about you is stronger than.
Nene, enye lie detector na edi check ya adwimo yare me see my bodam. Ghana ha obianim e wo social media. Ewo media mu
we
say.
see what bodam.
Na osofo kra bomba we say my bodam. Obi an say my bodam. Ebusuafo kra say my bodam. Obi an say my bodam. It wo ba be chemme.
The only person who can determine whether you are actually sound mentally or not is a doctor, the mental aid.
You do what me do on say my bodam.
Oh, we cry and yes.
Ne what do bodam for me dey na dey ntimi nyebi. Say me ba be ko jail. Omuni mu akọ actually then translators mo honom no. Say asylum so mu say my bodam na. Me ntumi papa no say my bodam. O ba yese ke lele. Oh, na Nigeria wa. Why is it?
You can do and do and do. Once you are not speaking the truth and you are pretending to be mad, there are equipments that can determine whether you are telling the truth about your mental state or you are really, really deranged. And it is very easy. So you can't defraud anybody and pretend to say, oh, now you have mental problems and all that and all that. No, anybody who defrauds on the internet, there is no way you cannot be arrested.
My other issue brings me to another court issue. First one, it's a foreign court. This one, a Ghanaian court.
Okay.
But I'll be careful because the matter is in court. I want to report just what is there. The young and beautiful lady who dragged her former sugar daddy to court on allegations that he had breached an agreement to take care of her has been ordered by the court to hand over to the court registrar a Honda Civic vehicle which has become an issue of contention between the two. The court yesterday ordered the lady to hand over the vehicle for preservation until the case is fully and completely determined, and the man in question was also ordered to hand over the documents of the vehicle to court. Now, both parties were also ordered to desist from posting on social and traditional media any contents that could influence the case in any way. The lady is arguing that her sugar daddy bought the car for her when they were dating, but he registered it in his name, and at a point even took it back from her. But after she had used it for about a year, she however managed to get the car back and has since been using it, blah, 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 blah. The lady says she's also not happy that although the man promised to pay for her accommodation for 3 years, he paid for just 1 year and has breached his agreement to give her a monthly stipend of 3,000 cedis, to marry her after divorcing his wife, and also give her a lump sum to start a business. So in January this year, she dragged to court this man, who happens to be a married man. She claims forced her into a love and sex relationship when she was doing a national service at the headquarters of a bank where the man was working. She described herself as a victim of abuse. She didn't only sue the married man, who also happens to be a Christian leader and a pastor of a church, but she sued the bank as well. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. The beautiful, young, charming, pretty-faced lady who shot to fame after she claimed she was a side chick to a certain married man, and then the man didn't agree, didn't respect the agreements he had with her to take care of her, and so went to court. Court says, I can't crowd the Fabranza, the party will court her. Echi, ye case no year. Na yen say the bema and I the bema papa no. Papa wuso ka wo to ma obai wa no se na wudi na da krata so wa ho so fa krata no nyina bra. Fa bema court registrar. Ye case no year. Na yen say the wo ka bema o. Ana once wa wo si ono na wo to ma no de ye de bema no. Na mo mie no nso mo bia nko media mo nko kan kwasi asembia. Mo bia nko post hwe because case no court. The first time I'm hearing a sugar daddy being sued by her side chick. And maybe a mobreso, bribisa. Yay.
The first time you are hearing
a sugar daddy being sued by the side chick that you said you would take care of me, you didn't take care of me well enough.
But anyway, you say a Bettina more serious than this.
Anyway,
so being super cool. ni side chick obi a wo
Send the panu chiti wodus.
send panos, you know. Yeah. But I think say you have given me a more balanced narrative because me can other mankind stories or other publications but the headlines is court seizes side chick's car. But would there who can
and see no now feel say cause na cat never day omun gin free ne ho
but
omun farmer papa no so
yes but the impression I got when I read the headlines, you know, in other you say must see court na seize. I was like, but now you've given me a better understanding. Say mumbi no more pray adibe ho na de no kopie wa court and they're even in the house cry yet me Jeffrey Munsem when two people are fighting over a ball. Two boys or two children about ball and a toy beer. Then mufambra. So that since it's a court no say the lady should bring the car. I think say any coin so I don't know. We used to wear the be for preservation. Because me na I didn't want me hon. Na me yusu. Maybe the case we don't know how long this case is going to last. Probably 1 year, 2 years. You never know. I will be using the car. Copim say beer. Say me 3 years na see me a car no nye media. Satan I went no so. What you see? And he say if the court asks her to bring the car for preservation, that's the key word.
Yeah, preservation.
For preservation, I think say ni kwan so I don't know. Bearman no so say on for documents, you know. So Emra, maybe that will help the court to make a determination on whose name, you know, is the car, you know, registered or something.
Then let's forget about this sugar daddy and her side chick.
Okay.
Generally speaking, say who was side chick? What oka man? Inti asianko yejuma. Obeji a friend himself.
Me as an individual, and now say we are looking at it generally on the table.
Generally, your opinion on this matter, forget about these two people in court. I don't want to talk about their answer and judging my friend say contempt. But generally, who was side chick? Wouldn't say who was yere fee? We are soft on so. When you be trimping our bunting, what will come 120,000 cedis?
Media said nipa no side chico. So nye child side chico. So ye won pana a woni no ebi amumbi no mo ware yo. At the time you bought the item for the person, what prompted you to do that? Who would do be manipano? And I would tell a dear man. What you say? Inti se nde ochinana se bibi kusina mujaya. Why do you have to chase the items? Nyamana would tell man no. My home about me worry obema for 10 years. Or so your car. No because it's a chance ni prete a kitchen or nyina. Say me na mi toy. I mean, to me as an individual, it doesn't make sense in any way. Until to atari so many panos way. E binim krati mi ku be run ni pano anatari ni yi.
Oh, then after there was wooden chini kan sem we.
I mean, who ni chini that would be so be
seed. Na we dey say so kresa fe wo mu ana mo de chini ni magi kakra. Say when you be a twimpenada. Anagwagwa no da. Mu ja wuji na atade.
Udi bisa toxic na bisa Pablo. Ombe kan kire o. Atade bi no mutumiji.
O de koye den.
E wo in public kra mpabwa. Even nanti barefoot dia coffee. E bi no mu ye, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't see why when you give something out to somebody from your heart as a result of the relationship between you. Not say things go sour probably. Then you say, I bought a shoe for you, so give me back. I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense. I don't think I would ever do that to anybody. And I don't expect anybody to do that.
Say, police inspector moi.
Okay.
Or worry. Or any year neti. Or side chick. And in some maba. So for moi. The same thing. The other times I'm chief B. The same thing. Nene, when would we wake up from our sleep and stop this one man, one wife type of hypocritical message you're making? I mean, let's face it. What is
say
that?
say one wife no na di.
That is, I mean, that's it. That's it. Because stolen bread is sweet. So once you say, oh, men go for side chick, you are even tempting me to go for a side chick. But this makes me worry me no means why would I go for a side? Wouldn't that bring peace?
Say, even no more worry back on me no means cry. I been more ho. Say odo no enni ho biom a. Niema otoma no. E binu muji na me see enye. It is not about the fact say people are not allowed to by law no. Say uncle G Rimbia Kumbi no, and no di
well, that is how I see it. Because in Bayinsu Omuba, Omunem say, wo worry, wo yiri, wo ma. I mean, me a primamba. It is a man miamene in Jibribi Sisia. Echna wouldn't me Jana Yamifrewa, Menya Zero.
Yeah.
So they also come with a mindset say, my main said, then I met to me immediately.
Okay.
But I say, I'm not worry now. What? Because they know that because on themselves or they are planky. That is why they are in a hurry to grab and blah blah blah. But on themselves also bad for stay or hurry to grab it. Then we all stay and live in peace.
Oh, okay. Into assurance na any honor.
Exactly.
Me headmaster been a council and say, agreement is a mere paper which can be torn at any time. Or buy or sue be. The ina impression on ya yen say papa no be wali no na omma no mre kakra
there why can you cry even support my argument? Papa ni soon to me worry no because the type of aware papa no worry ye no e ma wo kwan say won worry too. Secondly, oye suffer. I wouldn't our churches. Hey, na say get.
Obe yi we na free kwam obe pam we na wa worry no na back no.
E no kra Bible see wo pam na won't to me worry biom. But some would we not be a happier people as our great grandfathers were doing? In this your Europe you went to stay, what are divorce rates? There is one man, one wife thing. The problem, boo. As compared to our divorce rates here.
Everything has its good and bad side. Everything has problems. There is no institutionalized arrangement or any problem. Polygamy has its own problems. And monogamy also has its own problems. It is not about whether...
Which one brings more problems?
I've not been through...
Well...
I've never been a polygamist for me to know. But when you listen to people, traditionally people come to our palace and the rest for arbitration. So you hear a lot of people and you see, say, polygamy also has its problems, especially for the man. Especially for the man. So why do you have to go in for 2 wives? When this one, because there will be that competition. Oh, Halifax.
This is no great. Because, anyway. You see, it's their culture, it's their style. They don't believe in this. They believe in one man, one wife. That is the law. They can't comprehend or imagine for a second how 2 women can live with 1 man in the house. They can't just imagine it.
Okay.
And we are very used to it here. It's very normal. It's and from where I sit.
Even today, 1 man, 1 wife is taking more precedence over polygamy. Polygamy seems to be dwindling a little bit.
It is because how do I say it? It's the hypocrisy amongst us. Bema bia ferry. So Becca say, and Bema be brief. So Becca say, me was Jeremy. No, I'm going to say, when I say we are Christian. So meanwhile, you baby. I know one plan be baby. It is a society, and especially you see, because unto me in Warren official no, I don't know between Panasa and him saying ba now no more keeping.
It is a Panasem the eka obi a wawari ochim pana yenka no.
Nene tie me you meka obi a wawari mbrano mmanu kwenya say onware mienu. Nti was started say on twin pana mienu miensa wo krom. because of the mrano ntimpacho munji mrano free o kakra na yembiem. So ye biem have the anya cheating bi wonim say look men en yala 1 year bri
traditionally no yen see obi akwan yo tradition em block obi a Christianity I buy you know enna I finchini mu
it's Christianity no any more ordinance marriage no na mo de achichire ye problems we ba papa you suffer so on to me in officializing the other relationship no
yes
underground
this man's case is a bit exceptional
and so for bebre we be workroom bebre me so for nka ho
we so for the
nka ho but minimum so for workroom it's nene
we so for the
nka ho on the minimum say nka ho but as a journalist my journalist from 1999 be seen I've written way too many stories about pastors involved in extramarital affairs which brings trouble and embarrassment to them.
Where
into ye the mamre no etunchen and you follow a bimwa mamre no mulone mari mu hwe you
no there be why na hwe ni
well mo mu see and the Christian marriage and ordinance marriage and this and ayo maybe I'm too young but I feel
because that was immediate I still
adia bi wo ho say see koya onye pombium but once they say oh menye that is a stolen bread is sweet.
This is the second time you are saying it. I don't know how true it is. Because we are there. And no one yet they know. Because we are there. Say deep and sana obiaba. Until what there were gonna be and I would didn't giddy. Bread. You did? I'm talking about bread. Anyway. Well, into to mean to boissy. And lay table. Say we dear Miami Piani into me be lay table. I'm going to find you about. I'm going to ye there be. Into stolen bread is sweet, you know. It depends.
But the Bible says it's in Proverbs 9 verse 17 that stolen water is sweet. So stolen water tastes best, and the food you eat in secret tastes best of all. But the end thereof. So the Bible supports me now. On the crab was stolen waters and the food you steal and eat in secret. What I'm saying is, look, sometimes when you are hiding and you are finding stories in the house, now no say it makes it we but if it is
a mindset, Halifax.
Well,
when you are married to one person and then there are problems. Sometimes, we have some false mindset to be said. Because she's the only person, that's why she's behaving this way, and that she needs a competitor. Some people say that a lot, and they
are
say
they right?
They are wrong.
Hey,
you go in for that competitor. You go in for that side chick.
Or feel say on take it a bit more serious.
No.
Because on them say obey. Bema no afe na waponje mo befi ye yambie no se man kwa ko dware na me polish me ho yie na me ho nya hwiam kakra na enso metina ha na me de ntoma bi a chechire me na give for you thing ye hwi me bo bi I mean doesn't it healthy come ahead
udi the issue of a second person huna no
enya huna
there be who see say banisa
iron sharpeneth iron e Bible mo so does a friend sharpen the countenance of his brother and see wife sharpeneth wife so does a rival sharpen the countenance of wife
second person na woman who yes say one sister o the second person be ba
they be say wabadada into the be am free adwuma ba no one mona
once the second person comes in
we dey make us by heart but we there oh mirror no when june he when we ashin pada you will gravitate towards the second person naturally and the first person will start to sit up and say that well
once the second person comes in it aggravates your problems whichever way you look at it. One say womu mienu no ebeye ba ko a they can team up against you and you will be worse off. So omumi enunu anti wa mu ho ase a, it worsens your problems. Ntokwa nkra be worse. No one can say me kwa for third person. Not third person is bad. I say yeah. So whichever way, if they team up, you are worse off. If they disagree, the problems become escalated.
What if the three of us live happily together ever after?
How?
How is that saying? Many marriages are not polygamous married people. Are people not happy?
I haven't seen any that is. Even Solomon was not happy at the end of the day. Many wives did not make him happy.
Anyway, sure na yeah. My trip my drink. Also on name nya drink. Ye be fa no sa. Moso mo tie wo fie. Moso me sure say mo tre mo adwin. That's say be biem pa say obi an ware dodo o pe a. Sa me ko pe mpena wo kromi. Ebia ebeba fem.
Nti eba ne sa emma no nso wo ho kwan say o mo so be kwa ko ware mi no mi so.
Oh, na say ya mamre no oba ba ko ntumi nware be ma mienu. Ye be che ne sen. E wo mu say ebi mu mamre no e wo ho. But e wo ya mamre m say mbe ma betumi aware mienu, miensa. Once a wo betumi ahwom na wo ndo mu nyina pepepe dia. Problem be ne ho. But you know, in the name of westernization, modernization, civilization, and then so and stop here says still people go and do certain things behind their wives.
Oh yes.
12
as for those who will do those things, go beyond their wives in a war. But I still believe in the sanctity of marriage. And that it must be one man,
one wife. Well, his name is Nene Bennett Tay Akwaku, and that is his position that Obey Bonnie. And you do our until now, powerful from a door.
Thank you.
Then they were running Halifax Ansah-Addo. Show a Vodafone on boy and car. Obia Gloria, David Pablo, Benjamin Kumson, and DJ Toxic. No producer in a show. Makramo, make a peace.
Yamamunina, a brother says, Sama Yabuano.